Welcome to EnduringTechnologyPress.com. I'm Eric, and we've got another Tool Tuesday episode. And this week, we've got the scroll saw. And this tool, I think, really belongs in your shop for a couple of reasons. And here, maybe I should explain its competitors. You know, it's used for free-form sort of cutting. And its competitors there would be either the handheld jigsaw or bandsaw. Why does this one merit inclusion in your shop? Probably before the others, all other things being equal. I think there's a couple good reasons. Compared to your bandsaw, it certainly takes a smaller footprint, so if you're size constrained in your shop, this is the one to go for. It also, while it has less power, it can accomplish quite a bit of the same work that a bandsaw can. It just takes a little bit longer. Now, one of the other things that you've got, a real advantage, is that you can pull the blade out. So if you're doing an internal cut, so either free form stuff, you want to cut a square out of the middle of a block of wood and you don't want to cut in from the edge, this makes it a lot easier. You can drill a hole in that center portion, drop your blade through, reinstall the whole setup in the saw, and then get to cutting. Theoretically, you could do that with a bandsaw too. I mean, you could break the blade, you could either weld or solder the blade back together, reinstall it, and do your cut, right? Realistically, that's an awful lot of work to do compared to this, where it's purpose-built for that type of thing. The other real advantage that you have is that it does really nice fine work. Finer than you'd ever get out of a jigsaw, or, you know, you can get comparable stuff, I guess, out of a bandsaw, but this is really set up for a lot of fine detail work too. So if you're doing crafty projects or smaller projects or projects where you need a lot more detail, this is the one to go for. Just choose your blade appropriately. Beyond that, another really sound reason to have it is that this tool isn't intimidating. Of all your real wood cutting tools, it's probably one of your safest and most approachable tool in your shop, right? It's fairly quiet. You know, it's not screaming away like a table saw or a circular saw, or even louder like a bandsaw. The risk of doing real damage, I mean, you'd have to really try to, you know, cut yourself to get a significant cut. Maybe a nick or something like that, but, you know, even a bandsaw, it works great for cutting meat too. This, not so well. You wouldn't be cutting up frozen steak on this, at least not very easily or quickly. So it's good for that reason, which makes it a good tool to bring folks that might be a little bit more reticent to handle more high-powered woodworking kit into the fold, and that includes kids. This is my preferred tool to work with the kids, have them do cutting. They'll watch me do cutting on the other tools when they've got their ear protection, their eye protection on. This is one that they can actually use themselves. So a large number of reasons why you want it. The other thing to overlay over that is they are reasonably priced. You can get a really decent, fairly good quality saw that'll do a lot of nice work for you for a good price. You know, similar in price to a good quality jigsaw. You couldn't get a bandsaw that, you know, unless it's used or you pick up a particular deal, that for a similar price that wouldn't just frustrate you like crazy. So there are cheap bandsaws out there. My experience with them has been like cheap table saws. They'll lead to frustration. In fact, I'd opt for a cheap table saw before I'd opt for a cheap bandsaw. But these, even though when they're low cost, seem to do a really good job for you. So for more information on the skill saw and for other cool things to help empower your independence, go to EnduringTechnologyPress.com. Thanks.